one day I went to one, and this well-known, very powerful evangelist is casting out a devil, and this person is free. But all of a sudden, I'm young, mind you, I'm like 12 or 13 years old. All of a sudden, my sight just turns black, completely black.
Whoa.
I can't see anything. Okay,
Mm.
and I start feeling that everything around me is going in circles. Okay, so I take a knee, and I'm holding on. I held onto my dad's arm, and he's like, "Michael, what's going on? What's happening?" And I can't speak at this moment. And then I just can't stand. What I do is I lay flat on the floor, and because my dad saw what had just happened, he thought he thought that maybe the demon had possessed me, and yes, it did. So he picks me up with the help of someone that was there with us, and they start dragging me towards this evangelist so that he prays for me. And as they were dragging me, all of a sudden I vomit. Okay, this is,
Mm.
if anybody has been around a spiritual deliverance, this is a very common way of knowing when people are free from the demonic oppression or demonic possession. And then when I vomit, then everything comes back to normal.
Mm.
Um,
Wow.
so I had been attacked spiritually there. Okay, and then one day, this was after this happened. One day, I used to be in a school band, and I had practice. I was at the house, and I was leaving to go to practice. I start walking to school, and I'm like a block away from my house. And my dad comes out, and he starts calling me, like shouting my name, Michael, Michael. And I look back. He waves at me, and he's like, "Come back." So I came back, and what happened was he was praying with my mom, and my mom had a powerful gift. I don't know if it's gift or ministry of intercession. And my
Mm.
mom was calling out for my name clearly in a different language. Okay,
Mm.
uh, like I don't know how to say my name in German, but I have heard my name in German, and I know it's Michael, and I don't speak German. Okay, so I could tell that it was my name clearly in a different language. And she starts just crying, like with it was so strong, like coming from her core, like the prayer that she was praying over my life. I couldn't understand a word because it wasn't in Spanish, it wasn't in English. It
Mm.
was in it was the gift of tongues that my mom had. So she interceded with me, very strong, very, 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 very strong. She finished praying, and you know, we're like, we knew that it was a supernatural moment, but we don't know what happened. We don't know what the prayer was about.
Mm.
Years go by, I forget about this. Again, I had to be 12 or 13 at the time, and and before before my wife discovers that I had an affair, this event comes back to mind. Okay,
Mm.
like very strongly, very, very strongly. And so I called my dad, and hey, dad, I'm already, I'm in my early 30s, so a couple decades later already. Hey, dad, you remember this? You remember when this happened? And he said, yeah, of course, I sure remember. Yeah, that was quite a moment, right? And then I told him, well, I guess we'll never know what mom was praying about. And he said, well, you never know, just pray to God, and ask him that whatever your mom prayed about in that moment would come to pass. Um, so I prayed about it, and that just kept coming up in as the days went on. I was just like curious about it, and then uh, just a little after that, my wife finds out, and that's when my marriage, like that glass jar, it was completely shattered.
Mm.
So there was definitely something spiritual there. again, I don't know what the prayer was about, but isn't it interesting that I remember it, like I totally forgot about it, and a couple of decades later, that event comes back to my mind, and it's like present in me, the entire time, and then this happens,